No, he at every turn he was willing to fight the mainstream Republicans,
At
according to
every
you.
turn, at
Except for
every
the fact that
listen,
he hires John
as an
Bolton.
individual,
John
as
Bolton, what,
do you okay? Is John
one of the
Bolton
biggest
MAGA?
warmongers.
Is John Bolton MAGA? Was he MAGA?
Trump
Was
is
John
the
Bolton
figurehead of
a
MAGA,
MAGA
and Trump
Republican?
put him in power. And
Did
Trump,
Trump put him in power because he had to compromise with the GOP?
no. Why did he have to compromise with the GOP?
Because that's the fucking party he ran under.
Chill, don't yell, it doesn't help. I just have a few things to add here.
Who the fuck is this?
It's Aimee. Hi.
Yeah, Aimee, you have you don't just come in here and be like, oh, don't yell, yo. We have beef and you have some shit to atone for before we're gonna have you come in here.
I'm not atoning for anything, but I'm
you got some shit to atone for. Aimee, before I roast the shit out of you, I'm gonna want an apology and shit if you want to keep this civil.
I'm gonna back you up, so just let me speak.
I don't give a fuck. You don't. This is what everyone does. You talk shit on Twitter, then you come in here and start sucking my dick when you're in voice chat. I don't buy that. I don't do that shit.
Please. No, I just happen to agree on the substance of the issue.
Okay, well, this is wrong. You agree on the substance of the issue, but this is shit I have been saying for years now.
Yes, yeah. Just stay calm.
Now you're gonna agree. Now you're gonna agree with.
We don't need to have beef. Let's just talk about the substance.
No, we got beef. We got beef. I insist on the beef.
Oh my god, okay, why are you being so spiritually female? Let's just talk about the substance.
Oh, talking about spiritually female. Yo, Noble Wana, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it, man. So, by the way, where's that guy, Benedict Crypto Faggot? Where's that guy?
You guys have beef. He's so funny.
Okay, go ahead. Say your piece.
So what I wanted to say is from the jump, the leftists who cape for the national security state all do this like deflection bullshit strategy where they try to minimize like the massively anti-war role that Trump had, and they use all these like side issues to try to distract from it. They fundamentally don't understand how wars start and what does and doesn't prevent wars. So they take this retarded pacifist stance where they point out like anything that Trump did or anything that happened under his watch as though it's supposed to repudiate like the broad thesis, which is that he was actually fighting against like the deep state neocon neoliberal alliance that's existed in Washington for the last 40 years. And they cite things like, for example, the killing of Soleimani or the setting off of the Moab. This is all crap. It's all a distraction. Sometimes you need to kill a motherfucker to prevent a war breaking out. Like, if someone comes along and is doing all this shit that's disrespecting you and your family, you have to fucking end them to stop like more conflict cycles from going on and on. You need to be like, no, bitch, you can't come at me like that.
Hold on. You just said.
So what I'm talking about is that they cite.
You said these people don't know how wars start. You think Trump killed Soleimani because Soleimani insulted his family?
No, not literally his family. That's a metaphor.
But we literally know how that went down. Trump was sitting in Mar-a-Lago, and all the neocon freaks came to him with the intel about Soleimani, and they were heavily pressuring him and pressing him that we have to take out Soleimani. And everybody knows that behind the scenes, that only happened because why? Because Sheldon Adelson, who helped Trump get elected in 2016, wanted to come and get his repayment back. And I'm not saying Trump didn't know what he was he didn't know he was doing, but that's what Trump did. He compromised with the devil in order to get in there. But here's the thing: in the process of being in there for 4 years, he created a movement, a national movement based on the civil war that was created by him being there. And when he got out of office, what happened? Trump said that Netanyahu betrayed him and stabbed him in the back. He said that all these Zionists, all these neocons were complete bullshit, right? So yeah, it's a defect.
He said that from the jump. He said that from the beginning. I don't think that's something that he said after he left.
What did
explicitly.
Trump materially do to be an anti-war president?
He's the first president in decades not to start any new wars, and he prevented all this shit that's now going down, the proxy war in Ukraine. I'm sorry, but anyone denying that is tripping.
What are we calling wars? Or like interventions in like
Oh, let's start quibbling
dozens of
about
countries, not
definitions.
wars?
This is what you people do.
So, hold
You
on,
try to
here's
turn
a
it into
problem.
how many angels are dancing on the head of a pin,
Here's
so
a
that you can avoid facing the fact that, of course, he was more of an
Wasn't he
anti-war
allied with
president.
Israel? Like he wanted to
Blah
move.
blah 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 blah
do you
blah blah
listen,
blah.
dude. Trump inherited the drone strike started under Obama. If they were only ramped up under Trump, that was reflecting a quantitative increase of a system he inherited. That
Well,
system,
also a qualitative change in the way that
Blah, blah,
wars
blah. I don't
and
hear an
foreign
apology.
policy plays out. Like, we don't necessarily have to do boots on the ground. Like, you reduce the number of boots on the ground by using drones.
Isn't Biden more
yeah,
anti-war?
but this is how Sean Hannity and all these other people explained it. But Trump coped with the system that he inherited, but that was
Of
created
course.
under Obama. But that system was at war with him at every turn of his presidency, and they staffed
That's right.
his cabinet with these
I've never seen
Pentagon.
I've never seen the deep state react the way that they did to Trump. From long before he even got into office, it was a slow rolling, non-stop fucking coup against him.
It was that, and then even the people who claimed to be friendly toward him, who were kissing his ass, just like how Tucker Carlson said, who were kissing his ass
they're all-
every step of the turn, those people were actually completely sent there by that same deep state to, even though they were attacking him on every front, they said, at least we want him to do the things that we want him to do still because he's the president. And that's how it worked. So
That's how party flacks and hacks work. Like, they'll suck your dick when it's relevant in order to get from you what they need, and they'll throw your ass under the bus 2 seconds later.
but here's the
How they all
problem.
operate.
But here's the problem with Aimee Terese, because we saw Trump's weakness of leadership when he was in office. How is Trump enough?
Enough for what? We're talking about the difference between the two parties. I'm not talking about, I don't need him to be my god. I don't need him to be my daddy. Like, if we're picking between the two, he's by far superior. Like, without any
Yeah,
question.
that's obviously a given, but MAGA still
Okay,
has.
so then why are you looking for, like, spiritual meaning, or, like, how is he enough? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not talking about meaning. I'm saying pragmatically, how can MAGA sustain a presidency without A, severely compromising with the status quo in some kind of way, or B, we're talking about a civil war, right?
There's no civil war coming. Cut the crap.
Or yeah, I agree there's none coming, because they're going to do everything in their power to prevent him, whether that's throwing
There's no
him
civil war coming. What the fuck are you talking about?
whether that's throwing him in jail or doing something else. If MAGA does not wise up to the situation, see, this is the problem with MAGA. MAGA is a sleeping giant. It's all united by something that it's not even aware of. It has all of these enemies that it can't even identify where their common source is coming from. So what MAGA lacks right now is leadership. And I look at Trump. I look at Trump right now. I look at his low energy. He clearly wised up. I know he did, right? But he was so shocked by the way that his former quote-unquote new friends from the GOP, so like the way they turned on him. Now he's low energy.
No, he wasn't.
Now there's a crisis in MAGA. Aimee, tell me this.
There's no crisis in MAGA. What the fuck are you talking about?
There's a crisis. There's a big crisis in MAGA. Big time.
No, there's not. Stop being such a fucking tanky. Jesus
No.
Everything with you people is there's always a crisis. The sky is falling.
You're not here. You don't listen. There's a big crisis in MAGA because guess what? Right now, front and center. You talk to an ordinary American. Front and center. What is the number one thing? Listen, you even have people who don't give a shit about politics. The one thing on everybody's mind is how they're coming now molesting the children, right? And I know Democrats, I know independents. I literally know everybody from every aisle, everywhere. MAGA, obviously that's a given, but everybody's on their mind. The thing that's at front and center is the LGBT right now. And guess what? Trump is late to the party when it comes to that. And that's a problem.
Doesn't matter. That's not a problem.
How does DeSantis not take advantage of that by being a guy who just...
He has no charisma. That's irrelevant.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He's not going to be in jail.
Yeah, but who cares?
Running from jail without the media? Imagine...
He's not running from jail, and he's not running without the media. He's got this. It's going to be fine. Like, people love him more. The more the libtards fucking chimp out at him, the more we realize he's our guy.
I don't see that happening.
He's anti-fragile. Look at the polls.
I don't see the libtards chimping out at him.
DeSantis is not going to win. DeSantis is not going to win. Like, there's no chance of that happening. He's too much of a fucking spurgy, like, autistic fuck. Which, don't get me wrong, I love spurgy autistic fucks.
Biden is going to win by a landslide.
What the fuck?
I mean,
How?
yeah, probably.
That's because your movement, like, is so focused on cultural war bullshit.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, this shit. No, I love this.
You're going to lose.
Dude, you don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm sorry. You cut little kids' dicks off, and then you tell us that, we're too focused on
I don't do any of that.
Fucking leave
Dude, let me explain something to you. Let me explain to you something. Let me explain to you something about politics, okay? But politics is not about policy. Politics is about a conflict about reality. It's about a conflict about reality.
Correct.
So if half the country disagrees on what a woman is, that's a more fundamental political difference than
but the cool thing is that half the country doesn't, and it's like a sleeping majority.
Most people don't care. Most people do not care.
Most
and they're not going to vote on it.
When they're
and
listen, dude,
you motherfuckers censor the fuck out of everything.
Dude, it seems like, nobody cares. It seems like that. Most people don't give a shit about anything, right? But everyone I talk to says how they're coming after children now. It's like a universal thing. Everybody, the only people who will try to nuance their way around it are fanatical ideologists who wear glasses and are university students. And they're the only people who I ever encounter.
You know what else people care about is the anti-white racism. Like the disgusting fucking like black third world Marxism that the left has been trying to push on people.
Haas, what do you think about that?
Hold on. What does that have to? What does Black Lives Matter have to do with Marxism?
No, I'm not talking about Black Lives Matter. I'm talking about like this third world Frantz Fanon, like let's fucking rob and destroy white.
That's based.
Hold on.
Racial animus.
Hold on.
Based.
Hold on, Ken. Shut up for a second. So you're basically talking about the Hakeem tropical red.
No, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, because you don't know that much. So, how is that a relevant force in U.S. politics?
How is race a relevant force in U.S. politics?
Race is definitely. There's the 1619 project.
Oh, okay.
There's a 1619 project.
Right, so
and there's
you
the
only
woke.
like to look at it when the black people are doing it.
So what they call it is they call it critical race theory. That's what the average person sees it as.
Yeah.
So when you watch Netflix and you watch
when you have all of elite culture constantly fucking elevating the most mediocre and banal and pathetic black people and degrading decent, competent, hardworking white people, and giving, unfair dispensations to black and brown people just on the basis of their skin color.
Okay.
When you have people being called fascist and racist and all this other bullshit
because
they're opposed to illegal immigration
and
having them and their people be replaced by illegals, then you have like a really fundamental issue. And
hold on. Because you're talking about a lot of different things. I'm
basically talking about the Great Replacement issue. Like that is real, and it animates a huge portion of the Republican base.
But you're talking about two different things. The immigration issue is not the same issue as the so-called critical race theory. These are two different issues.
Yeah, but the way that the left ties together this anti-white racial hatred that animates both their justifications for replacing the native population of America via the
so let me explain this to you. The average person The average person,
heritage Americans.
so for example, the average person worried about immigration is, you could say they're worried about jobs. This is a thing a lot of people like to say, but it's mainly
It's not just
crime.
immigration, it's about replacement.
But most of them are worried about crime. They're worried about
No, it's not
they're
just
worried
that.
about crime,
It's also
and
about
they're
the
worried.
replacement of their cultural legacy and the brown
This is
America.
some European intellectual stuff that Americans don't give a fuck about.
Incorrect. I think you'll find that in polling. a lot
So
of
so
people
maybe
a lot of white people don't like having like them and their people be fucking erased and degraded and be turned into second-class citizens in their own country.
yeah,
Like,
nobody
this is not
hold
some
on,
European
hold on.
intellectual faggotry. This is people don't like it when suddenly their whole fucking town is Hispanic and there's no
that's-
white people and everything changes. Like
Listen,
people
listen,
don't like
listen.
it.
But you're talking about different things. Like, you're saying, yeah,
They
nobody.
both tie
You basically
together.
said nobody likes to get the shit beat out of them. Yeah, nobody likes that. But
that's not what I said.
white identity, this is a myth that the Democrats and the leftists also create, is not really the driving force. MAGA is mainly white because the majority of the country is white, right? That's just the truth of it. Majority of the country is white. Also,
That's
MAGA
MAGA's
is, like,
predominantly
only white.
because Trump was
Dude,
not
I'm
a
gonna
big-
mute this guy.
one of
You
the
gotta shut up
first
for a second.
politicians to speak to and for white people with respect and dignity instead of degrading them like everyone on the left and 3/4 of the fucking GOP.
Yeah, but you're gonna have a hard time explaining how divided white people are when it comes to this.
I don't
Like,
have difficulty explaining the fact that wealthy white libtards enjoy
It's not just them.
the
It's not just
self-flagellating
them.
bullshit.
the upper,
Yeah, a lot of people are cocks.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so
Correct.
what the analysts call it is the white suburbanites. The white suburbanites are not
Yeah.
MAGA, and they're becoming libtards.
Correct. Well aware. Well aware.
Yeah, but those are not the
your point.
elites. Those are like upper middle class, gentrified
Right.
white people.
Right. Right. So the aspirational elites adopt the elite ideology because it helps them in their
No,
jobs.
they're a kind of new middle class, actually.
No, they're not new. This has been going on for a really long time.
Yeah, but they're not aspirational elites. They're like a new middle class.
You're saying that the middle class are not aspirational elites. That's the whole thing that drives
I mean,
the economy. The aspiration that you can become more than you actually are. That it's within
yeah, I
reach.
think these people are kind of conservative. You can call it in the Tory sense, like in Britain, they're kind of Tory.
Right.
They're kind of new Tories.
Right.
So they're not mainly trying to be. They're basically they don't like how MAGA's too rowdy and it's too it's political antagonistic and that kind of stuff. They're not really fully on board with that, and that's where the Democrats are increasingly winning. So when you frame it. So when you frame it in these terms, I don't see it adding up. Now, you could talk about anti-white stuff and the critical race theory stuff. That stuff you mainly see, especially in culture, right? Netflix, all that kind of stuff. You see it in institutions where, for example, you have the drive for its own sake. Let's get someone POC or someone who's a woman or someone who's gay or trans. That's obviously a real thing, but that's not the exact same thing as the immigration issue. This is what I'm trying to say. The immigration issue is
so much difficulty talking about an issue like Great Replacement and anti-white racism. Like you just talked for like 5 minutes to try to deflect from what I was saying at the jump. Like why can't you acknowledge that?
Because I feel like you're taking the liberal argument.
So too many of your third world brown Marxist audience would get too upset if you acknowledge that Great Replacement is an issue. Like, is it just a little bit too edgy to have?
How much of my fucking audience do you think is a third world brown audience?
Quite a few, I think. And when I say third world, they don't have to be from the third world, but they have a bit of that third world tanky ideology like you.
Okay, so you're just shifting the goalposts in a retarded way. So,
no, what I'm
just to be clear,
haven't gotten rid of the left.
Hey, stop screaming! Stop screaming! Stop screaming!
What I'm suggesting.
So first of all, you have something confused. First of all, you have something confused.
Leftism to be able to acknowledge that race politics is really important, and that the Great Replacement is a massive issue for a lot of people, and that it animates a significant portion of the Republican base.
I'll explain to you the Great Replacement, the reality of it. Okay.
I don't need anything.
Yeah, you do. You need education. You need education. So
I need education. Oh, good on you, commie, talking down to people because they talk about race instead of class. Oh, you need
no, because
education. You're just not as smart as me, the communist who tells you what you need. All right, buddy. Now you sound just like every other leftist.
yeah, you can tell
You
me I
need
sound like whatever.
education. You
Okay.
need
By the way,
education.
listen, Aimee Terese, don't bring it there.
listening.
We don't want to go there. I'm being
It's
polite
Aimee
right now.
Terese. There's no Terese.
Whatever the
It's
fuck,
just
whatever the
Terese.
fuck, whatever the fuck. Don't take it there. We don't have to
Alright.
go there. Okay, I've been civil so far. We don't have to go there.
Okay.
But
all right.
let me tell you what. That is all about the Democrat strategy of trying to get minority votes and the way in which institutions are starting to see whiteness or white people as like a part of this nexus of oppression or whatever, and it's the affirmative action stuff. So that's all very real. But when you sit here and say,
that. It's also like, for example, the fact that like you have enormous portions of brown people flooding into areas and degrading like the original heritage Americans who don't like it. They're not huge fans of it.
but why is it that when you talk, okay, why is it when you talk to the most, okay, you talk to the most high school educated, blue collar, working class white guy, and what does he say? He says, I don't have a problem with legal immigrants. I don't have a problem with people who are hardworking who come here to make a living. I have a problem, and he says, even my family's mixed. I have relatives who are mixed. I have, in-laws who are not white, and they don't have a problem with that. But they say, I have a problem with the illegals coming. I have a problem with all the crime, and here's the thing, the drugs, the fentanyl. So why are you making it seem like it's this gay European faggot identity stuff?
I never said anything about European faggot identity.
For Europe, you're right.
Like
For Europe, everything you're saying is true in France. Everything you're saying is true in France. Everything you're saying is true in France.
Refusing to acknowledge,
dude, what you're saying,
that the racial aspect is important to many people.
That's true in France. That's not really true in the U.S.
It's actually true in the U.S. If you look even at
it's true in Australia
questions
too.
About immigration. Correct. Also, if you look at aspects about immigration, you will see that there is a huge contingent of people who would like to pause legal immigration, not just illegal. It's just that people like you, as well as most of the Republican Party, take this safe cuck position of, oh, well, we just don't like the illegals, but
here's the problem.
Fuck tons of H-1B visas.
Okay, you're not from this country. You're not from this country. If you go to people and you're like, yeah, this is about the white heritage and shit. You're speaking a foreign language. It's an alien language.
Mm-hmm. Right, I see. Okay.
Maybe at least go with the libtard argument that it's a dog whistle where they're just going to say American and that's coded white. That's what they try to say. But in practice, that's just a form of bad faith.
If you can't see the left as an attack on all of white Western civilization and what they're doing,
okay, let me ask you a question.
Then you're delusional.
Okay, how much of the left is rooted in white Western civilization?
I don't care. I'm not talking about the left. My friends are not
That's
the
what
left.
you just said.
I'm not interested in the left winning.
That's what you just said.
I said that they're waging war on normality.
So those people who are waging war, okay, how much is the war on normality rooted in what you call white Western civilization?
It's a war on white Western civilization.
How much is
and
the
its
war?
Norms
Okay,
and its institutions.
Sure. How much is that's beautiful? They use that word institution. How much of the war against white Western institutions is being done by white Western institutions? Do you think
they've been infiltrated from the inside since the
So you're saying the
Correct.
POC
that there's been a subversion.
Okay. So you're saying
many Western institutions over the course of the last 50 years.
So you're saying the autistic POC tranny is driving everything right now.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
If you're saying the brown race is so superior that they're actually waging this, so what are you saying?
I'm saying that the subversion of the original Constitution, as opposed to this new civil rights bullshit.
I agree. But you're saying this is a race war. So I'm just trying to understand.
I'm saying that it's a. Oh God, this is.
I'm just trying to understand the races involved. It's just I'm asking questions. Like I want to know if it's a race war.
on
which race against which race?
Civilization
What?
being, it's a war against traditional white Western civilization and its norms and its institutions.
Okay.
Whether the individuals waging that war are of specific races is largely beside the point, in the same way that
it's not besides the point, because here's the problem. Here's the problem.
Dumb.
The war against white Western civilization is coming from inside of the house. There's something wrong.
I agree.
There's something wrong with white Western civilization for it to go to war with itself.
It's called leftism, the parasite of leftism. Absolutely.
Okay. So, but that comes from white people, according to you.
Well, it comes from a multiplicity.
No, it comes from white people. Don't tell me.
No, it comes from a multiplicity. Sorry.
So see, I'm
not
trying to.
It comes from a bunch of third worldists as well, like Franz Fanon and all those.
So
no, it's not just from white people.
You're saying it came from Franz Fanon?
I'm saying he's an example of a not white person from whom this type of racial.
He's literally the token. He's literally the token.
Oh my god. Okay. All right, mate.
So the brown third worldists are that powerful that they've actually done this?
No, but there's been a mounting, slow rolling coup of every Western institution over the past 50 years with this third world brown communist ideology. Absolutely.
And why? And if this is a race war, which race is perpetrating that?
It's not. It's a civilizational conflict.
Okay, that's okay. So what's the reason for that civilizational conflict?
Well, the reason is that because a bunch of Marxist Leninist types like yourself want power, what they do is they put together a coalition of biotrash elements.
Right.
Like the people who would never have power in the absence of the Marxist government that they become a part of. And then so what happens is all these biotrash types, people like Benjamin Burgess and like what's that other, the one who...
So hold on, Benjamin Burgess is an example of Marxist-Leninist infiltration in the West.
No, bio-Leninism. He's such a fat, disgusting
let's call it even Leninism. Let's even call it Leninism.
Bio-Leninism is what
Sure.
Anyway, the point being that
hold on.
Biotrash scum people who would never be among the elite in any functional civilization. And then because they know they're fucking trash retards, they have to make sure that they protect other trash retards just like them because they're animated by resentment. They know they don't.
So then the trash retards are
Jamel Bowie, Nicole Hannah-Jones.
Okay, I don't. You can name all your ops. These people
are dumb faggots who would have no power in a society that was merit-oriented. And so what you do is you put a collection together of all these biotrash retards who don't deserve to be in power.
Who's doing that?
This is what the left has done over the last 50 years.
But hold on, no. There's a problem with what you're saying. You're saying the left is the biotrash retards. All right, I kind of agree with that.
Correct.
But then you're saying.
Absolutely.
You're saying they put themselves in power, so that makes them, in your view, the superior race.
Yes, because all these like trannies and other degenerate garbage, retarded half blacks like Nicole Hannah-Jones, like all these fucking retards.
Here's the thing. So instead of thinking
on any rational assessment of their capacity as leaders, and as people who they know full well that they don't deserve to be where they are. It's only the biotrash elevation system that they're part of that has put them in that position, so they'll be loyal as fuck.
Hold on.
Whereas when you have hot white men who have options, they're not going to be loyal to this degenerate, retarded system. They're going to question things.
Maybe. Listen.
So it's different.
Yeah, there's a big problem.
Why you get all these loyal, fucking dysgenic retards who protect the system and other degenerate, fucking disgusting people like that.
You're gonna have to let me intervene here, okay?
Okay. Sure.
What you have just described, you call them biotrash retards, but they've successfully rose to the top, meaning they're actually the superior.
Yeah, but civilization is dying out now.
Right.
And we're not reproducing ourselves. And
why is that relevant? You define the leftists. Simultaneously, they're biotrash retards, but they've also conquered and are successfully destroying the civilization.
You can conquer
That means they
conquer a bunch of
want.
institutions, but not reproduce a
I'm
civilization.
I'm
That's what they do. They tear things down like parasites.
Right, but they're winning. So the
Right.
parasites are superior to the
They're
normal.
winning for now, but they
Right.
don't need to extend through the generation.
So how are they going to lose? They're not going to lose. They can't lose. See, let me explain. This is the problem with your thinking. You actually think.
Okay.
You actually think.
No worries.
You actually think that the people who are at the top of the chain at the World Economic Forum, you actually think the people in the City of London at the top in Wall Street, you think that the Rockefellers and the Morgans, all these people who actually created the modern left as you know it in the United States, and we followed the money and proven that, you think those people actually sincerely believe in the autistic transgender ideology, and you think that...
Where did I say that? Where did I say that?
Hold on. You think the autistic trannies were so smart that they got the fucking Rockefellers, the Ford Foundation, and the CIA to create the modern left and them and put them in power?
Well, actually, in the 1930s, they started doing like progressive eugenics, and they knew they had to create all these like, basically like transhumanist, disgusting biotrash as part of their project.
Who was they? But who was they?
Yeah.
Who did this?
A bunch of the same motherfuckers who went on to found the Planned Parenthood Foundation and do a whole bunch of like the abortion shit.
I agree.
And,
You're right.
Okay,
You're right.
So
at no point, in your view, at no point does this go back. At no point does this go back. Hold on. You will never actually say.
There's an article from the 1930s in Time magazine called Eugenics for Democracy. Look that up.
Wait. Listen. You tell me shit I already know, but here's the difference. Anyone can see all of this shit. You're not going to like it because it's Marxist, right? You're going to get triggered. But tell me you have a better explanation.
I get triggered by Marxism.
I'll be open to another explanation. I don't see how this isn't all downstream from what Marxists have called the monopoly capital, what Lenin called monopoly capital, aka the ruling class, aka the bourgeoisie, aka the dynastic ruling families.
Oh, God. Boring.
So it's not them. Where does it come from then?
Do you actually think that the working and middle class is so fucking powerless that everything is just top-down dictated?
It's not that it's top-down. It's not that it's top-down dictated.
Why are you participating in politics? Why are you a political quote-unquote thought leader or whatever?
Because, first of all, the institutions which rule society, which define the media, the press, the academia...
You mean the participatory democratic institutions that fucking nobody's like you and I can participate in?
Right.
We can wield real influence in. They're just dictated by top down.
So let's just say what Moldbug calls the cathedral. That is downstream from money. Those people have to get funded by people, right? So how is that not downstream from the ruling class?
Okay, so how are you not downstream from the ruling class?
Because they don't. Because it's simple. It's simple. Because I don't have to.
Not the same thing. You're on Elon's platform. Why hasn't he suspended you then? If you're such a challenge to the ruling class.
Because he doesn't know who the fuck I am. First of all, and second of all, Elon Musk.
Right, but why doesn't he know who you are? They knew who I was and bopped me off the site for a couple years.
Hold on, I got fucking banned for
For how long? Nobody's been banned more than I have. So
I got banned until Elon Musk came back. So I was banned for like I don't know, like 6. I don't remember.
You probably swore at someone.
Put it this way. There was no chance I was ever gonna get unbanned until Elon Musk came. So that was just
okay. So you're a tool of the ruling class then.
How?
Because Elon Musk is a member of like the capitalist ruling class according to your ideology. And were it not
actually,
so you're a class collaborationist too. So
no.
You're downstream.
Hold on.
Class, but were it not
for hold on. Wait a second.
You would be silenced. See, this is what I mean. It's like this conspiratorial shit where you pretend to be like all separate and challenging
you're full of shit.
But then you simultaneously say
so
that
the reason
you wouldn't have
calm down.
How do you reconcile that ridiculous contradiction? Come on.
Okay. Put it back in the kangaroo pouch, okay? So, What we're talking about here,
Cope.
in any colloquial sense of the
Come on,
word,
buddy.
in
Come on.
any colloquial sense of the
I got
word,
you. You've got nothing on this one. Just
yes,
admit
I
it, it's
do.
fine.
Is
No, you
Trump?
don't.
Oh,
No,
just
you
like
don't.
Trump's a member of the ruling class, right? Listen, Trump and Elon Musk.
He's literally been there. He's more challenging to them than any other president in recent U.S. history. That's why they're
Shut up for 2 seconds. Shut up for 2 seconds. Let me ask you.
You were just
a simple-
whining about them.
Let me ask you a question.
Admit.
Let me ask you, because you don't understand Marxism. You just think it's individuals.
Sure. Yeah.
Is Elon Musk? Is what Elon Musk did with Twitter a reflection of the will of the ruling class, or is he doing it at the expense of the consensus of the ruling class?
He literally bought it with money.
Right. But is the hegemony, the ruling class hegemony, like the actual people in power, are they fans of what Elon Musk did?
This is all so gay. This is so shallow.
But you're saying according to my Marxist...
I reject the premise. I'm saying that, like, if you grow up middle class, which is all of us, anyone could become Elon Musk. So this idea that there is like this very...
That's not true. You can't listen, the economy doesn't work from a fucking lemonade stand. You need credit from banks. Banks decide everything.
I'm well aware, thank you.
They decide everything.
So you get creative and get them to invest in you. Absolutely.
But at a certain level, the decision to invest
you have peasant mindset. You're peasant.
No, at a certain level, listen.
Slave morality.
No.
Slave morality.
You somehow think that like you just get invested in based on profit or some shit. That's not true.
No, based on being cool. Be cooler. You're just too gay if you can't get people to invest in you.
So how to be the best cocksucker, that's your solution? It's literally a cocksucker theory of power. So how to be the best cocksucker.
And listen to you.
Dude.
Be less of a homosexual third world Marxist and people think you're cooler and then you'll get money. That's how it works.
But that's how the biotrash got money then. How did they get money? Are they cool?
They got money by turning themselves into experimental lab rats.
So LGBT is cool in your view. That's cool because the ruling class funds them, so they must be cool. But they get funded by the ruling class money, so they're cool in your view.
Yeah, to be degenerate guinea pigs.
To be what?
Degenerate guinea pigs for all their like experimental drugs and shit.
So are they not cool or what?
No, not being tranny is much cooler than being a troon.
Yeah, but so why can't I get funded then? If I was
why don't you go chop your dick off and start injecting like whatever it is, the whatever the female hormone.
But I'm not the one who's saying. I'm not the one who's saying you can rise.
Will fund you,
dude, I'm not the one who's saying. You're saying anyone can become Elon Musk.
No, I didn't say anyone, but like anyone cool and smart.
Right, you're saying it's just like it's a meritocracy.
Of owning corporations is what I'm saying.
That's a whole new level of libtard.
This rigid class distinction bullshit that you're speaking of is a reflection of an old world that no longer exists. We live in a middle class society, not this rigidly stratified working class society where there's no mobility between the classes. It's a nonsense. There is mobility between the classes. We live in a middle class society. Everyone is bought into the system as a small property owner.
Let me explain something to you.
System is. That's what the pension system is.
You've got like this retarded.
You've got this retarded society, and you're in denial about it.
All of the intelligence, all of the intelligence of this is only when I speak. Okay, so you need to shut up. Okay, so you're just creating a straw man of I think it's a complete polarization. Mobility.
I think we live in a middle class society, and you're delusional about it.
That doesn't mean much.
You pretend that we live in like some Dickensian fucking working class versus like factory owners.
Who said that?
Gay. That's not the society we live in.
Who said that? Who said that? Why are you chasing ghosts?
It's implicit.
Why are you chasing
in your
ghosts?
entire argument.
It's like some Ghostbuster shit. What is this coming from? Listen.
This is so
let me explain something to you. Someone who got rich off of Bitcoin.
So
hold on. Is someone who got rich off of Bitcoin climbing the social ladder in the same exact way as someone who gets promoted in institution or a corporation?
No.
Why not? Why not?
Because it's a different set of imperatives.
No, because one is part of the hegemony, and
the hegemony.
one
Okay,
is a
yeah.
potentially counter-hegemonic source of power. If you make money
Somewhat,
off of
sure. Yeah,
Bitcoin,
that's correct.
if you
Yeah,
make money off of
absolutely, yeah.
Bitcoin, or you make money on accident, you can
Okay,
have the
so how do you
power.
explain the fact that Bitcoin can be a state currency and like whatever the fuck?
No.
And,
Here's what I'm trying to explain to you. But here's the
Bukele is totally pro Bitcoin and he's the leader of a state. So how do you explain that then?
the Bukele is fighting the U.S. State Department right now. But anyway,
Yes, correct.
let me explain something to you, okay?
So then why you fucking commie then? Why do you call yourself a commie when you're literally like endorsing people who fucking hate commies and do everything against them? Like you're just confused, bruh. Completely
No,
confused.
you're fucking confused.
Just
You don't even know
drop
what
the
communism
communist
is.
crap.
Hold on.
Drop the communist fake and gay faggotry and just be like, yeah, I'm on the right. And just cut the shit.
Because you're not educated. You talk about Marxism, Leninism, all this shit. You don't know what you're talking about.
You're such a libtard.
I'm just describing. I'm literally just describing to you basic Leninism. I'm just describing to you basic Leninism.
Yeah. Well, I just described to you bio-Leninism, which is the reality.
Yeah. That's okay. You want to talk about bio-Leninism? Look at those faggots in the Nazi Party and look at their physiognomy. Compare that to the fucking Bolsheviks. Who the fuck is the bio-Leninist? Those fucking all those fucking freaks that were whatever the fucking weird head shapes and shit who were Nazis. Those were fucking handsome Aryan Chads in your view. Shut the fuck up. Second of all, so don't bring me this dumbass. Let's stop calling it bio-Nazism. Don't bring me this bio-Leninism shit. Don't bring me this bio-Leninism shit. We got Stalin, we got Maxim Gorky, we got Lenin himself, we got all of these fucking real men, and you're talking about bio-Leninism when you got these faggot Nazis who look like really fucking mutants, okay?
They're dead, so that's over, bro.
Anyway, listen.
Dead paradigm.
Yeah. Listen. Whatever. Let me explain this to you, okay? What I just explained to you with Bitcoin, that's about monopoly capital. But here's the problem. When you get to a certain... Shut the fuck up, woman. Shut your retarded mouth. When you get to... You need to realize... This is why... Like, what makes you think as a woman that you have the intelligence to even step up here? Right?
Because you're a leftist and I own every leftist male.
No. You don't know what you're talking about. When you get to
my fault, I'm an alpha female. Like,
okay.
I'm sorry that upsets you, makes you really mad. Like,
you know what you are? You're trying to be a masculine. You're trying to be a...
Like, okay, bro.
Shut up, woman. Shut up. When you get to a certain level of wealth in this country, you have to go through the dominant financial institutions. And they will swat you down like a fly if you don't conform to their agenda. And that's how the system works. That's why...
Okay, so how do Elon Musk and Donald Trump exist then?
Because they played the game for a certain time, but when circumstances changed, their interests started to misalign with the hegemony, because there's actually contradictions within the ruling class itself. So, for example, Elon Musk... Sure. The nature of what he's doing, I'm not saying he's necessarily a Henry Ford, but just like how Henry Ford wanted to kind of take on debts to do these new endeavors for industrialization and shit, Elon Musk does not represent directly the interests of finance capital. So he represents a new kind of an autonomous use of his power that's not aligned with the ruling class as a whole. Most conflicts of class struggle happen with contradictions within the ruling class historically. In feudal times, you had the one noble or one lord was there to bankroll the bourgeois revolutions. Okay, so
thank you.
So, but this is not outside of class struggle. You're not getting beyond the Marxist class struggle framework just because you're mentioning, oh, well, Elon Musk's part of the ruling class. Well, who's to say there's no... Who's saying there's no contradictions in the ruling class? That's basic Marxism that there is.
I think race is more of an issue of conflict in the United States than class.
On a superficial level,
you literally burned down half the fucking country in 2020.
But here's where you fuck up. It's like, how would that have been a thing without Soros's money?
You live in a middle class society. No, it wasn't just Soros's money. That's conspiratorial garbage.
But it's fucking fact. You can follow the money. You can literally trace it. Are you retarded? You can literally trace his hundreds of millions of dollars he gave to them. How is that not a color revolution by monopoly finance?
Oh, no, I agree. There's an aspect of that.
Okay. So in your view, are you one of those people, so you think the degrowth agenda is because of Marxism, Leninism, the green agenda, Marxism, Leninism created that?
Why are you still so attached to being a fucking commie? I don't get
Because
it.
I actually know what communism is. I'm not a retard who just thought...
Oh, communism is this magical thing separate and apart from every actually existing communist.
Listen, if you go to Russia and you talk
Why does the Communist Party fucking always back up the Democrats then?
Because they're all fucking infiltrated. Are you stupid?
Oh, right. So they're all magically infiltrated except for you. You're the one true communist. Is that it?
I'm one of them, yeah.
Oh my god.
100%. I mean, yeah. What do you think I'm known for? What do you think I'm known for? Like, yeah, I am that motherfucker.
You're making communism great again.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
but anyway, let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you.
Alright,
Yeah, so you seem to be confused because...
Communists trying to get the band back together again ever since 1989. I love it. It's so gay.
Yeah, but how is communism...
It's so fake and so gay. I'm sorry.
There is
no communism. It's fake and gay. Like, it's just completely made up bullshit. It doesn't exist. It's not a thing.
Alright, put it back in the kangaroo pouch.
Dungeons and Dragons. Like, it's just so fake and gay.
Alright, and we don't need all this cackling, right? So to explain something to you, we are describing the American system right now. Okay, to give you an example, which is based on monopoly finance capital, which is based on thin air.
Yeah, I don't buy all this crap.
You don't buy it. That's fine. But you go to East Palestine, Ohio, where people used to work in factories and now they have no jobs. There's a reason for that because we don't produce anything.
What do you think about Palestine? Palestine as in Israel.
I said East Palestine,
Ohio. Is
Ohio.
a problem because of the Jews? I know. I'm just bouncing off it.
All right. Well, I don't know if you're drunk or something, but you should get your senses together. All women are not. All of womanhood is taking a big L right now in terms of women's education.
I know, because you're gay.
No, because I'm pro-Taliban, and I just think you thinking you're somehow an educated person was a mistake of Western society. But anyway, let's explain this. Let's explain this, all right? So, you have China, and you have the communist-led world.
Here we go. Are you going to do the logo datalist thing of saying it's the workers of China?
You can call it whatever phrases you want.
Oh god, this leftism is so gay.
Okay, I mean, like, what are you even talking about?
Xi Jinping is bringing the workers' revolution.
No, I'm just saying. You said communism. Hold on. You said communism was
fake and gay. It's fake and gay.
Okay. You said communism is Dungeons and Dragons.
It's just radical leftism, and it's basically a bunch of Democrats who want to steal shit from white people and hate on whitey. That's all it is.
Okay.
That's what communism's always been.
Okay, so that's what Russian communism is. So Chinese communism was about overthrowing whitey. Where was whitey in China at the time of communism? They muted them. I didn't mute shit. You guys can see clearly on my end. I didn't mute nobody.
No, that was on me. That was my bad.
Okay. So you're saying it's a form of Dungeons and Dragons, and basically you're saying it's LARP. And I'll grant you that.
It's the biggest LARP ever. Yes, absolutely.
There's some LARP, right? Obviously in the West.
Massive LARP. It's all LARP.
In America, there's some LARP, but there's also the idea of a theory which can be useful to help you understand the country in ways no other ideology or no other paradigm or theory does. I don't see any framework superior to Marxism-Leninism that allows for an understanding of how to have a counter. How do you have a political revolution? There's nothing superior than Marxism.
I don't want a political revolution. I want my friends to be in power.
I mean, like, I don't care what you want. I'm not. Who do you like? I don't care.
Your question.
I'm not like your Patreon fucking pay pig or whatever. I don't give a fuck what you want.
I don't have a Patreon.
Yeah, whatever. Like, I don't care what you want. That's not my job to fulfill what you want. What I
Then
want
why
to
are you
do,
asking me questions about things that I don't want and don't care about?
because it's what the American people and the American working class wants.
The American people are not revolutionary by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Right, is that why they elected Joe Biden?
No, they didn't. That was stolen.
Oh, edgy, edgy.
It's not edgy. I'm saying it.
You're actually saying that the American people are a revolutionary proletariat. This is the gayest, fakest shit I've ever heard in my life.
I'm saying the American people are led. The main core of the American people is the MAGA working class. That's the soul and spirit of the American people. And yes, they're very revolutionary.
And they're
especially
revolutionary.
now. Especially now, yeah, they are. Especially now, they are.
They're revolutionary.
Like, yeah, they are. Right now, they are, yeah.
I see. Please tell me about how revolutionary they are.
They are literally ready to overthrow the government, probably.
Are you actually trying to incite the State Department to fucking come down on the right? Is that what you're doing here?
No, I'm just giving you an objective assessment of the situation.
What are you talking about?
There is such a level of difference, antagonism, and distrust toward the institutions that rule our society and the government.
That doesn't mean that people are revolutionary, though.
Yeah, they are. Like, in practice, they are. Like, if you're saying...
how are they revolutionary?
Because they literally are now their interests are incompatible with the status quo, with the government. And they're hoping right now, they can just elect Trump or elect somebody. But I know, I'm wise enough and smart enough to know that's not going to cut it.
You're the working class whisperer, are you?
No, I'm just not a fucking retard who thinks that Trump's going to be able to win another presidency and that not somehow fundamentally undermining the current system of so-called American democracy we have, to the point where, like, there's going to be such a clash between the political institutions and the actual sentiments and polarization. Do you think the system can contain the level of polarization in this country?
Yes.
Absolutely. Then you're fucking retarded.
Okay.
Do you think Americans respect the institution of the Supreme Court?
You don't need to respect.
Yeah, they do. You actually have to believe in... You can't just have this cynical view and have that be long-term sustainable, where everyone's like, I don't actually give a shit about our procedures of democracy. I don't care about the Supreme Court. I don't care about these dumb proceduralisms. I'm just using it as a means to an end.
If it's structurally sound and people have antagonistic feelings towards it, it just increases participation. So if you look at the 2020 election... No,
it leads to forms of political unity and power.
The revolution. Yeah,
it leads to a delegitimization of the institution, the political institutions of the state.
It does that when people participate more, and that re-legitimization happens every generation.
Okay, but that participation entails winners and losers, and I don't think the losers are
Correct. I want my friends to win, and I want the left to lose. That's what I want.
Right, but the forces behind the left, I'm sorry to tell you, are not just these Twitter people that you have problems with. It's actually monopoly capital. It's actually it's the actual ruling class, the actual fucking people.
The actual ruling class, okay. It's George Soros, is it? Without George Soros...
He's one of them. He's definitely one of them. He's one of them.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I agree. But I also think that a huge part of the problem is the middle-class cuckold libtardery of a huge portion of the American population, and the fact that your institutions have been producing and brewing that specific type of libtarded bag.
Well, here's the problem. Even when we look at these institutions, those are not the institutions of the Constitution. They are extra-legal institutions of the so-called...
They're not extra-legal. There was, like, basically an internal revolution.
They are the so-called... Let me put it this way. The so-called cathedral, right, is not the Constitution, okay? So you have, on the one hand, you have the institution of the state, the Constitution, and then you have this other state, which has not been politically formalized. It has no constitution. And it already has the ambition and the intention to completely rewrite the 1619 Project, which delegitimizes 1776.
What's your point?
My point is, the current system cannot contain the polarization. One way or another. If you're a constitutionalist who just wants to defend the Constitution, then
I'm not said that.
I'm saying whatever side you're on of this conflict, you getting what you want leads to a destruction of the system as it is.
Right. All I want is my cool friends to have like good jobs and to have more control over the.
Well,
culture.
you're not talking about politics. You're just talking about some like posturing on Twitter.
Culture's not political. Okay, I'm a real boy Marxist, and culture isn't political. It's just out in the ether. It's not political at all.
Politics is war.
I'm
That's
well
what
aware.
it is.
Absolutely, sure.
No, but
So are you saying that like when they're cutting off little kids' dicks, that's just culture war and that's not real politics?
what are you even talking about?
I'm saying that culture war and political war, like culture is politics.
I'm not saying, I'm not accusing you of being too much into the culture war. I'm accusing you of mistaking the basically prostitutes and eunuchs of the ruling class with the ruling class itself.
No, I'm not confusing those two. I understand that court eunuchs are useful functionaries for the broader system.
Okay, so you have this thing where you're like, oh yeah,
court eunuchs like you and I.
What do you say?
I said court eunuchs like you and I. Neither of us is challenging the ruling class, and you should stop pretending that you are.
I think I am, actually.
I don't think you are.
Why not?
I think you are. I think
Why not?
I think you have delusions of grandeur, basically.
Why?
You have this like big Marxist faggotry larp because you carved out a brand as this like leftist, rightist, whatever. When actually what you could do is just be fucking honest with yourself, like I did a few years ago. Realize that Marxism's gay as fuck, and that the cool people on the right, and just call yourself right wing. Like you can drop the whole Marxism faggotry and all this fake talk, all this like bullying bourgeois blah blah. It's all crap. And just
So I feel like you talk all this stuff about like Western civilization and shit. It's like there's a lot of things about Western civilization I really like. I like German idealism. I like philosophy. I like real civilization, real philosophy.
Why do you like Marxism, which wants to burn it all to the ground?
No. You have to let me finish. But you really have a sad view of the world where, in your view, Western civilization, rather than culminate in any real coherent, rational greatness, culminates in this gay fucking...
I'm not a rationalist. I'm not a fucking rationalist. I think we're animals.
Nobody's talking about rationalism, but you're saying... all of that culminates in, like, your Twitter memes. I don't believe that. I don't buy that.
No? That's a ridiculous assertion that you just said to, like...
You said, well, I realized that just Marxism is gay. I mean, like, why?
Marxism is supremely fake and gay. And
okay, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. That is a statement... Let me respond to you. Let me respond to you clearly.
Oh, crap. It's just a brand identity.
You can have a tantrum. You can have a tantrum. That is a statement. That is a statement. Hold on. That is a statement.
Marxism is fake and gay. You can just drop it and just be on the right and be cool. But instead you insist on being this fake and gay.
What you're talking about is this. What you're talking about is
Marxism.
You're talking. Hold on, woman. Shut up. For fuck's sake. How would any man marry you? By the way. How would any fucking man marry you? Put up with this shit, right? Shut up for a second. Shut up for 2 fucking seconds. Shut up for 2 seconds. Okay?
Carrie? Yeah.
How the fuck are you going to sit here and say that your statement of sensibility based on cafeteria high school jibber-jabber disputes on Twitter speaks to the actual truth of Marxism or anything else for that matter? You're saying Marxism...
The truth is that people on the right are hot and people on the left are degenerate.
Sure. But you don't have a critical view of why that is. You just say, I'm taking it for granted. They're sitting over there. I'm going to go sit with them. And the gay Marxists are sitting there. So all Marxism is gay because all the Marxists I know are faggots, right?
Correct. Absolutely, yes.
But... honestly,
Marxism.
But here's the problem.
That is my overwhelming
the issue is
that Marxists are faggots
Yeah.
And I'd rather not hang out with that.
Listen, you're saying all these things because the precedent of those who identify as Marx, like as a trend, as a sensibility.
Oh, yeah, because you want to separate out the identifying as Marxist versus the real Marxists.
Right.
Oh, shut the fuck up, fake and gay, fake and gay, fake and gay.
Because here's the thing,
Fake and
I
gay.
believe the real Marxists in history are the ones
Yeah, the
that
real
built
Marxists. Yeah.
that actually built giant
I
civilization
believe
states.
the real Marxists are, here's a bunch of right-wingers. Like, why don't you stop trying to use the right as an excuse to be a Marxist?
So hold on, Joseph Stalin, is he a right winger?
No.
Can you name me a right winger greater than
Can
Joseph
you name
Stalin?
me a single person who's still alive?
Yeah,
Oh.
Zyuganov
wait,
in the
No.
Zyuganov, Xi Jinping. There's plenty of people. Listen.
Okay, I don't want fucking what Xi Jinping is doing. I don't care for that. Like, what,
Yeah. That's fine. Here's the
Is
problem.
that what
I'm
you're
gonna sympathize for you.
saying?
The problem
world
with
fucking
you,
shit.
you have an Electra complex. This is the problem. You're a woman, so you cannot. You are incapable of a true creative revolution. You are incapable.
I don't want a revolution. I'm not like you. I don't want a revolution.
You don't know what I'm talking about. You are incapable of returning to the incipience of the logos. You're a fucking woman. You're a passive woman who looks at the cafeteria, looks at all the people identifying as Marxists, and you could not possibly breathe new meaning in the term Marxism or what Marxism means.
I personally parted the
Because you're
waters
not a creative. You're not a creative mind. You're not a creative spirit. You're just a woman. You are naturally meant to be manipulated in one direction or the other. You can't create power or trends. You have to submit to existing power.
Is that why the Democratic Party had to get me kicked off of their platform during the election? Because
But what new power have you built? What new thing have you ever built?
I brought my people to the promised land of the right wing.
You didn't build shit. You didn't build shit. All you did was submit. All you can do is submit. Hold on. All you can do is submit to things that already are in existence. That's not how a man thinks.
That's so true. Actually, yeah, I did submit to the hot right-wing man in my life and brought people over to that.
Sure, that's fine. But you're just a fucking whore, pretty much. Like, that's not how a man thinks. A man doesn't say, I'm going to submit to some existing power.
I don't claim to be a man, so what's your point?
Your message is not for men. It's for fucking e-girl whores, not men.
Okay, but yours is let's worship Marx and communism's cool, bruh. That's
my message.
Marxism doesn't exist. It's fake.
My message is for men building a completely new political movement.
Is that right? Is that why you were sucking Cornel West, the Fed's dick, 2 weeks ago?
How the fuck was I doing that? How the fuck was I doing
I'm
that?
so disappointed that Cornel West, the fucking federal agent for the last 40 years, is acting like a Fed. I'm so shocked and disappointed.
I wasn't shocked at all. I was being diplomatic. And here's why I respected what he did.
You mean you were cucking? You were cucking to the black leftist man.
It's got nothing to do with that, you fucking dumb whore.
Marxism where you venerate black people and
shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, you retarded whore.
Absolutely not.
Here's why I didn't attack him, right? Because he ran shut up. He ran for the People's Party. I know Nick Brana. I know the People's Party personally. I can verify.
Oh, right. So you wanted to please people like a woman.
No.
Is that right?
I respected it because I know the People's Party are not feds, they're not sellouts, and they're the real deal. So I said, if he's
Cornel West is a fucking federal agent, you faggot. You absolute faggot cuck to the black man who talks jive.
I don't
You're
care.
an absolute fag.
Shut the fuck up.
He literally called Trump a fascist over and over for fucking 6 years. You're such a cuck. Like, you literally just cucked to the fucking shocking and jiving black man. You're so gay.
Cry about it.
You're such a homosexual. Like, every communist is a homosexual and a cuck. And ultimately, you cannot escape that.
Wait.
That is just your nature. That is your role in life, is to just lay down and just get cucked by black men in the Democrat Party. That's your whole position as a communist. That's the communist ideology.
All right, calm down, Electro Complex.
Cucked by black men. Like, that's all you do.
If you have such a problem with homosexuals, why the fuck did you submit to the king of the gays, BAP? Why did you do that?
BAP is extremely straight, you absolute faggot.
You're calling me a faggot and you're a follower of BAP.
Correct.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's fucking crazy.
Rappers never cuck to any man ever, anywhere. Whereas you cuck to Cornel West, a black man.
No. Not only
Obama.
he doesn't. He
Literally,
can't.
he loved Obama, and he's on the
Hold on,
fucking
he
board of
can't,
directors of the DSA.
He can't cuck
You are
to
such
men.
a cuck.
How could he cuck to men if he's participating
No,
with
you
men?
cucked.
If
You
he's
were cucked
literally
by
like
him.
actually fucking
You
men,
were cucked
how are you
by
cucking
him.
men?
You sucked his whole dick and said, I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed in Cornel West once promising campaign. What promising campaign? He's a fed, you fucking retard. He sheepdogs the Democrat Party and he's done it for 40 years.
Anyone, listen, People's Party getting some like well-known
Oh
guy
my
is
god,
pretty
People's
promising.
Jerk-Off Party. People's Circle Jerk. This is also fake and
Dude,
gay.
because you don't know what it takes to create.
Because you can't just walk away. You
How
can't
could
just
you-
draw a
how
fucking
could you
simple boundary.
recognize-
Walk away from the left. Just draw a fucking hard line.
No,
a hard
holy shit,
boundary. The
holy
left
shit.
is gay.
It's like I take 2 minutes out of my day to observe this thing going on and acknowledge it, and this is somehow where all my heart and soul fucking is. Like, why are you
Because
making it
anyone
seem
who
like I
fucking
give a shit
had
about Cornel
adequate
West?
disgust for the homosexuality of the left would never make that kind of amateur hour mistake.
What mistake? Why do you think I give a shit about Cornel West? I don't give a fuck about him.
Well, so why did you say you were trying to be diplomatic then? Why did you say all that gay shit?
I was basically trying to say that I didn't like how he went to the Green Party.
That's not what you said though at all. You
Yeah,
pretended
I
he had a
think-
once promising movement. What kind of once promising movement does
The
fucking
People's
leftists
Party,
like
the
Cornel
People's
West have?
Party, so you're sitting in Australia, you don't know what's going on. The People's Party
Oh,
helped
yeah,
organize.
okay, buddy.
Okay, do you know what the
Yeah.
Rage Against War thing was?
How's the raging against war working out?
Do you
Do
know
you
what
not
that?
realize
do you,
that
do you
all of
know-
those people,
Shut up.
Medea Benjamin, all that shit, that's an adjunct to the State
No,
Department.
they
Raging against war,
Dude,
like rocking
Code
against
Pink-
racism.
Code Pink
Gay.
dropped
Faggotry.
out of it because my colleague Jackson Hinkle was speaking, and it was all libertarians, Ron Paul libertarians, plus the People's Party,
Mm-hmm.
and all the left was fucking attacking it and did their own instead.
No shit. That's how the left goes. What's your point?
So, but that thing, the Rage Against War thing, made a lot of headlines. A lot of people were talking about it. A lot of people were like, wow, libertarians, the right, and these seemingly left guys are coming together. This is an interesting development. So, People's
That's
Party.
true. I do like it when that happens. That's fine. But that's not what any kind of third party bullshit led by Cornel West is. He
But
described
the-
Donald
but-
Trump for
but the
6 fucking
People's
years
Party-
as a
see,
neo-fascist. He hates white people.
Listen, he can say
and
whatever
he's a
he wants.
leftist who
Listen,
wants to rob white people and give it to black people.
he can say whatever he
And
wants.
I don't like that.
He can
and I
say
think
whatever
you're
he
a cuck
wants. He can say
For
whatever he
being all
wants.
for sucking his dick. I think you're a cuck.
Listen, he can say
You
what he
still
wants.
you still cuck to leftism and
here's
a
the thing,
fucking
here's the
shucking
thing.
and jiving black man. That's what you do. That's how you roll.
You're
and
obsessed.
I can't abide
listen,
by that.
Didn't you
Pardon?
Didn't you have a black boyfriend or some shit? Why are you so
That was
obsessed with black
literally a
people?
tweet. I was trying to provoke white guys into getting angry so they would step up. That was the purpose.
Okay,
of that
you're
tweet.
obsessed
But
with
anyway,
black
carry on.
people. Can you shut the fuck up? We don't care about your black people fetish.
You're the one who's
You
fucking
need the
sucking
BBC.
Cornel
You want
West's dick.
BBC? You want BBC? I don't know what to tell you.
If that's what I wanted, that's what I would have.
Listen,
I don't want
how
that.
can
I want
cuck to
exactly the
black
opposite
men?
of that.
Listen, I am a
You
black
literally
man.
did cuck to
I'm
black.
literally black. I'm literally a black man.
Ew, gross.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
you're
literally
not
an
also.
African-American
You're a brown
male.
third worldist.
No, I'm not brown. How am I
homosexual.
brown? I'm fucking black, you
You're a
stupid
fat
bitch.
brown man. You're a fat brown man. That's what
I am
you are.
literally a fucking ripped black guy, you
You're an
fucking
angry
dumb
little
bitch.
third world brown man.
I'm literally a black guy, you dumb bitch.
No, you're absolutely not. But
I'm
you do cuck to
100%.
black men
I'm
like
100%
Cornel.
black. I'm black.
You
You
do
fucking
love to
idiot.
lay before Cornel. and be
Anyway,
like, "Oh, daddy."
anyway, nobody gives a shit that Cornel West is black, but I know for a fact the feds are against the People's Party. So for as long as the People's Party is like,
Yeah.
if Cornel West was committed to running for the People's Party, that would
This is so gay.
that would
This is so
that would
such
I,
gay
yeah he
Jimmy
might have
Dore
called Trump
imagery.
he might have called Trump a fascist, but it's like if he was
I
serious.
bet you're in favor of like Black Lives Matter and think that police violence is an issue, don't you?
Why is
You think that
Cornel
they're
West
unfair
a
to
fed?
black people.
All right,
He's
who's
been
the
a fed
dude?
for fucking
I'm
40
removing
years.
this
That's
guy.
his whole
Okay.
gig.
Listen, here's the problem. All right, here's the problem.
Where's the problem? What's the problem? Please do.
You say Cornel West is a Fed
communist.
you say he's a Fed because of the things he says. Maybe he is, maybe he
He's been a
isn't.
Fed forever. He's always been a Fed.
All right, I don't care. But if he was serious about running for People's Party, that would clear him out a little bit in my eyes. That's all I'm saying. Like, that would clear him in my eyes.
Clear him out. How would it clear his last 40 years of dick sucking for the fucking Obama and Democrat Party? You're so gay. You're so dumb. All it takes is one person to do one little thing, and you throw out the entire history and like the material networks. Because you're so dumb and gay.
Yeah, I give everybody a chance. But
you're just naive and silly. And
I'm not naive because I'm not saying it's what I want to do. I'm not telling my fucking followers to go work for the People's Party. I literally told them on stream. I told them
I love Cornel.
No, I didn't. I said
Black Daddy.
I said we're gonna focus on doing. This is all I said. We're gonna focus on doing our own thing.
But your voice is giving me a headache, so I'm gonna
Yeah, you surrender. You surrender and you submit. You submit.
No, I would never surrender.
Yes, you do. You easily fucking submit. Easily submission. Easiest submission.
Thank you so much for having me. It was lovely. I had a lovely time. I had a lovely time. I had a lovely time. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
It was fun. We should do this again sometime.
Okay.
Go on, be nice. You can be nice now that I'm leaving. Be nice.
Okay, we'll see. I'll tell you. We'll see.
Alrighty. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. So, wow. That was crazy. I don't even know how to deal with that. It's like a drunk woman who's also a right-winger, but also simultaneously is the most feminist woman I've ever spoken to in my life. Where they're just like, oh, I don't, it's gay. And I'm like, okay, what's your point? I'm going to add this guy and this guy.